We're good? Is everyone happy tonight?
Yeah.
Do we have our wine? Can I get like a l'chaim? Cheers.
L'chaim, Dini.
Oh, cheers. My God. Okay. Insane. Hope you're all having an amazing week. We're going to bang out meal prep number 11 tonight. Such good stuff. I'm going to show you what we're making while some other people jump on. Is everyone good? Yeah? Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. Again, Danielle is here, so if you guys have any questions, shout it out. Danielle's going to relay them over to me. And
first question, we will be on YouTube tomorrow, so if you're not ready, you can watch it tomorrow and just kind of follow along today.
Even later tonight, it'll be up. Probably I'll put it up later tonight, but it's probably going to be too late for anyone to prep anyways. But if you want to do first thing tomorrow, it will be up on YouTube, and also we've added them to prepandrally.com in the Rally resources section. You'll see a video tab. Every single meal prep except for the first one, which for some reason was not able to upload, is up there. So check it out. I'm going to show you what we're making tonight. Guys, this chicken adobo. I know I've been talking about it for a while now, but this was one of my favorite chicken dishes ever. Like, I'm not the biggest chicken person. This chicken you're going to freak out about, okay? Trust me. Mark my words. So we're doing a chicken adobo with mushrooms and this creamy, yummy polenta. We are doing the best chili you're ever going to have with some polenta croutons and spaghetti squash. Then we have ramen bowls, which are loaded with so many goodies and like so perfect for a wintry cold night and amazing for a cold if you have one right now. And then we're ending the week with some shakshuka. So you guys are going to love this menu. What we do every single time with these prep rallies is we prep the components for the week. So we're prepping 8 or so staples. And if you're following along in your PDF, everything can be found on prepandrally.com. Once you subscribe, it's $11.99 a month, or you could pay for the year in advance, or a 6-month plan, which is $60. You get access to these printable PDFs. I give you the entire grocery list. You shop it out. Sunday night, you show up here. We cook together. And honestly, the hour to hour and a half that we spend right here setting ourselves up for the week will make the rest of your week stress-free. Trust me, I have plenty of stress in my life. This literally keeps me sane, and Danielle can attest to that because she came here tonight and was like, do you need a drink? Because it's been a week.
Yes, and guys, the fact that I'm here filming this means I don't prep on Sunday night, and I have to tell you, I make sure that I do it first thing Monday morning because it sets the week.
It really does. It sets the whole tone for the week. It makes you more productive throughout the week because you could just get what you need to get done and not have to worry about what I'm making for dinner. Literally, you take stuff out of your fridge, throw it in your oven or warming drawer, dinner's ready to go.
And you can have guests.
I know. I had guests last week. It was amazing. I'm like, want to come for dinner? She's like, yeah, sure, great. And I'm like, great, I don't have to cook. Come on over. It was awesome. I literally threw stuff in the warming drawer, and she thought that I spent all night cooking for her. And she's watching tonight. So big shout out to you, Miss Lenore.
Okay, so people are saying that that we're having a hard time hearing you.
Right, because we're on the speaker, which is annoying.
I'm
going to try to talk as clearly and loud as possible. I'm so not used to like yelling because we normally have the speaker right here, but I'm going to try to talk as loud as possible. For some reason, the speakers weren't working tonight. So let me know if there's any point where you can't hear me, and I'll try to be as loud as possible so that we don't have that issue. Okay? And if you have any questions throughout, be sure to just shout them out.
Yeah.
Danielle's going to let me know if there's anything good coming in.
Ashley, you said you have a question. Just write the question here and we'll answer it.
Yep. Let us know any questions, and let me know where you're tuning in from if you are not cooking with us and you have the hands to do that right now. Otherwise, let's bang this out. Meal prep 11. We have chicken adobo, chili, spaghetti squash, roasted mushrooms, broccoli rabe or bok choy, and polenta. Really easy meal prep. There's not that much to do here. This is going to be like an hour or so at most. All right, so let's do this. Let's start with the chicken adobo. Hopefully you guys saw my pre-prep, so you saw how I kind of set up my little stations here, get everything ready to go so we could just kind of work our way down the line. So I'm starting with a large pot here. I'm using a cast iron. I just like using that a lot, but it's not necessary. You could use any pot, and some people even told me they use an Instapot to make this chicken today in 20 minutes. How fun is that?
I have an Instapot.
I don't have one. I don't even know what this whole Instapot thing is. I think it's like pressure cooker.
It is, and right, and if you sit down and do it, I just don't know how to modify my recipes to do it. So, power to you if you make these stuff in the pressure cooker, because that's
awesome.
great.
So they basically do the same thing, and it took 20 minutes, and it was like fall off the bone, amazing, delicious. I know, it sounds really good.
I'll lend you mine.
Yeah, seriously, I want to like play around with it. So yeah, so you can do it in the Instapot and what's it called? You can even do it in the oven. Some people just roast it in the oven, same exact way, just throw it in the oven instead of putting it in a pot. All right, so I have my chicken here. Some of it I had the skin off because that's what I had in my freezer. I recommend getting skin on, so some of it has skin on, some skin off. Get your pot nice and hot. I have some oil in there. We're basically just going to sear this chicken on both sides to get a nice golden crust, and it's also just going to form this little crusty little bits on the bottom of the pan, which is called a fond. I'm pretty sure they're for that too. And yeah, and that's what's going to give it amazing flavor. Can everyone hear me?
So some people are saying they can totally hear, and some people are saying that they can't hear.
At all.
Hard to hear, yeah.
I know. There's nothing we can really do though because the speaker's not working. That's annoying.
Oh, so it says we can hear you much louder. Oh, you can hear me much louder than Deanie.
Right.
Okay, makes sense. So I will lower my voice and Deanie will speak up.
Possible when you have to show something, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna try to speak up as much as possible. We are working with this. The speaker for some reason wasn't working, the microphones. So take your chicken, throw it in your pot. It's amazing what the speakers do though. Like it's crazy the difference that it makes. All right, so put it in skin side down so you get a nice sear on that, okay? Just like that. You don't want to overcrowd the pan either. So work in batches. I have 2 full chickens here. Season with some salt, liberally, okay? I'm gonna do both sides, all right? We're also gonna do some pepper. And that's honestly the base of any good recipes with good seasoning with salt and pepper. That's what you need. Don't be afraid to season. And always make sure you season both sides, all right? Both sides, always. All right, while that's working, we have, so basically we're gonna sear this on both sides, do it with the other chicken as well, and then we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients. It's gonna make the best sauce ever. I have some broth here. I have a ramen broth that I found. This is a brand new product, which I think is so awesome. I'm gonna use this for my ramen bowls as well.
Yum.
Yeah, it's really, really great. It has like some soy sauce in it. There's mirin in it, a little bit of sugar, ginger, so it has that like Asian-y kind of ramen flavor, which is great. If you have that, awesome. If not, use vegetable stock, use chicken stock, anything you like. And then we have some soy sauce. I ran out of balsamic vinegar, so I am modifying with apple cider vinegar. You just want acid, because that is like the classic kind of chicken adobo. And then we also have our garlic. So if you have not pre-peeled your garlic or bought pre-peeled, get on that while your chicken is doing its thing. All right? Come on. Cut this off. Cool. All right. Everyone good? Take a sweet on.
Sorry about the sound, guys. We're doing the best we can.
Sucks.
Some are saying it's great, and some are.
Really?
Yeah.
I know, especially once this gets loud. All right. So let that keep cooking, doing its thing. In the meantime, let's get our spaghetti squash going because if we're sitting here anyways waiting for that to brown up, why not make ourselves useful and start with the spaghetti squash and get it in the oven. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees. All right. Get that nice and hot, and we are going to take our 2 spaghetti squash, cut them in half, and start getting them in the oven. So what I do, you could roast, what?
No, I want to see your trick for how to do this.
So you could roast it whole. I actually did that last week, and it was amazing. I literally stuck the whole thing. I pricked it a little bit, threw it in the oven. It was freaking awesome.
Okay.
What makes it go a little bit faster, you have a sharp knife, you want to be very careful. But what I do is just cut it in half. I keep the seeds in it, everything for now. You can keep that on, that's totally fine. Stick it in here.
Okay.
All right, that's what I do. If you want to stick it right in the oven, by all means do that, it works. You could take seeds out now. I find it easier to take the seeds out later. But stick it in the oven like this. I usually put it open side down. And if there's not enough room, I like leave it on top of each other. Because you want it to kind of steam and really cook there. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Just like an inch or so of water so that it steams. Right.
So in case you missed that, Deanie is putting some water so that the squash steams.
All right, and then take some tinfoil and give it a good, nice, tight seal. I'm gonna get another sheet of tinfoil because it's kind of high.
So you want a tight seal.
All right, here we go. Just a little bit more. Fill it up nice. Yeah. All right. And then stick in the oven. 425, you're gonna roast this for like 40 to 50 minutes. It really depends on how big your squash is. But keep an eye on it. Normally I test it by just pressing down on it, and if it has some like give, then you know it's soft enough and good. All right? And okay. Feel good?
Yeah.
And mom's on board. All right. This is mine. Yum. Okay. So, looks like we have some nice color on there. You see that? Give it a little flip.
By the way, yes, the sticker was still on the squash because it doesn't matter.
It's totally fine. Yeah, don't even waste your time. It doesn't matter. It's just steaming in there. It's not even like touching the actual meat of the squash, so you're really good. Doesn't matter. You can if you want, but I just leave it on. All right, season the other side of your chicken. Salt and pepper. Okay. Pepper and get your salt in there. And again, you want to be using chicken with the skin on. I just happen to have had chicken without the skin, and I wanted to just use it up because I bought the wrong thing one time, so I used it. But use what you have or what you like. All right. And while that's working, I'm just gonna pop this in the oven because why not? I already have some stuff in the oven as well. I have my chopped up mushrooms, which I told you guys to get. So you're gonna take your sliced mushrooms, and if you're using those like artisanal, like really pretty gourmet mushrooms, throw that in together with these mushrooms on a sheet pan. And you could use two different sheet pans, one for the broccoli and one for mushrooms. I just am able to sort of fit it all on this one big one. So that's what I'm using. But you're basically going to put all your mushrooms on one sheet pan, all the broccoli on the other, or put them together if they could fit. Olive oil, salt, and pepper. And we're going to throw it in the same oven.
We have some requests to try the mic again.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if maybe once those go in the oven, we want to try it.
Try it. Hold on, let's see.
Guys, we're going to try the mic again. So while we're doing this, we'll answer your questions.
Yes. And let us know where you're tuning in from.
Yes, please do.
Hear.
So the broccoli rabe, how is that prepared?
Just roasting. Roasting for like 10 minutes.
And do you leave the leaves on because it's very leafy?
Yes. So broccoli rabe is more leafy than broccolini, which is the one that I have tonight. You could use either one.
Oh, this is, yeah.
But you want to use the leaves, you use the whole thing. I just trim off usually like a little bit of the base. With these, you don't really have to. But with the broccoli rabe, I usually do. Okay? All right, want to start plugging yours and turning on?
Yes.
Let's
so we have someone tuning in from Guatemala. Welcome.
You're amazing. Welcome. Hi. So cool. We have some. Anything different than we ever do.
No.
Star.
Okay. So we're going back to no mic. Okay. And no, we're going to try one more time.
No, I'll try one more time. Hold on, we're trying one more time. You didn't take this out at all, did you?
No. Should I? Okay, guys, so a lot of you are saying you can hear but most are saying that you can't. So we are switching to no mic.
Okay, no mic. And I don't know what the heck is going on here.
And now it's not working at all. Hold on. Back on. Okay, great. We're back.
Okay. Awesome. Guys, it's been such a week. I just want to like crawl into my bed. Okay, honestly, having your dinners is going to make your week really great. I promise you. I promise you. Take a drink of your wine and just bear with us. We're almost there. It's a quick meal prep tonight, I swear. So we're fine.
Okay, so if you asked us questions before, they got lost in the shuffle, so please ask them again.
Yes. We have our chicken browning here. We have our spaghetti squash in the oven already. All right. And we have our sheet pan here. We have mushrooms and the broccolini. If you need to separate it into 2 separate baking sheets, by all means do that. All we're going to do is just drizzle some olive oil on all of it and some salt. That's it. All right, you're just seasoning these up. And we're going to roast them. All right, so give them a little toss in that oil and the salt just to evenly distribute them. I love these extra large baking sheets, you guys. I have these in the shop section on highlights. I was just thinking I need these. They're the best because you could just do everything in one sheet pan. It's my favorite thing in the world. They're just such good quality too. I like use them for everything. I think they're like $24 a sheet pan, but it's the best investment I've made. It's so good. Okay. So here we go. All right, chicken. Before we get that in the oven. I'm just putting this chicken back in here, and that's fine because then we're going to put it back into the pot afterwards to continue cooking. So, get these browned up. Take these out. Okay. Skin side down. Take these out. If you have like little wings, you could do that as well if you like them. Look at that crust, look at that. Really pretty.
Beautiful, guys. Look at that.
All right. So with this last batch here, season up with some salt and pepper. Okay. And the best part about doing chicken this way, I know normally we do chicken in the oven, but the best part about doing chicken this way in a pan is look at all these little brown bits. Do you see all the little crusty part in the bottom? Like this is where the flavor is at. All this like crust. And you're going to see we're going to deglaze it with balsamic, or in my case, apple cider vinegar, because that's what I have. I'm using it. But we're going to like lift up all that flavor, and that's going to just perfume and make this chicken so flavorful. Trust me. All right?
So in case you missed it, the reason that we're able to mix the chicken is because it'll all go back in the oven.
Exactly. So this is all going to go back into this pot once we add all the stock, and it's going to cook for like 40 minutes. So that's why it doesn't matter that it's going back in the raw like juices. I know it sounds kind of gross, but it doesn't matter. And why dirty up a separate plate if we don't need to? It's going to all get cooked again. That's not even cooked chicken. That's still raw chicken right there. It's just browned on that side, but it's completely raw. So don't worry about that.
And then we have a question.
Yeah.
Someone was only able to get bok choy.
That's perfect.
So how do they prepare the bok choy?
Same way. Same way. Make sure you clean it. If you want to separate the individual little stems, you can. Otherwise, just cut it in half lengthwise. As soon as you walk in between the sections, so it tends to get like dirt in there. Bok choy is great. I love bok choy.
And you can put it on the same pan or different ones.
If you can separate it to 2 pans, if it's too crowded, give everything some room, but the mushrooms are going to shrink down. There's a lot of moisture in there. So you'll see it's not going to look so crowded in like a couple minutes. Get them in your oven. We're going to cook this for like 10 to 15 minutes. Okay?
Then...
Alright, set your timers if you can. Just because it keeps you from messing up and forgetting about things. Alright, so check it out. We just did our chicken adobo.
We have another question about the chicken. If it's going in the oven, do we cook it covered, and at what temperature?
Yes, I would do it covered. We can even do the same oven, 425. Throw it in there. That's perfect. And do that for the same amount of time. I would say like check it in 40 minutes. Check for doneness, and then if you want to finish it off in like in the broiler, or just uncovered for a couple minutes to brown it a little bit. Or if you want to sear the chicken first to get that color and then put it into a baking dish with everything else, with the sauce and everything, that's a good idea as well. Okay?
Yeah.
So we did the chicken adobo, or no, we're searing the chicken for the chicken adobo, as you guys can see here. And then we have our chili that we're going to get working on right now. So here's our chili, chicken adobo. You guys are going to love this recipe. So good. That's our mushrooms. We're going to work on the polenta soon. Spaghetti squash is already in the oven. And that's our broccolini or broccoli rabe right there. All right? So let's keep going. All right? We're going to flip our chicken over. You're almost done. You want to work in batches here.
And again, it's okay if the chicken's not fully cooked because it's going to end up back in the oven.
Right now, you're just looking for color. That's literally all you want here. Color and that little crusty bit like on the bottom of the pot. That is what you want. That is where the flavor is. So right now, those are basically done. And they're going to continue cooking the next couple minutes. I'm going to add these back here. Well, actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's just get our sauces in here. Hold on one sec. Okay, I'm going to add your vinegar now. And you can keep some of the chicken in there, it's fine. Alright, lower your heat a little. You want to be careful. Whenever you're adding liquid to a hot pan, you want to be careful. Do it slowly, because it will smoke up.
Wow.
So good. Woo! Nice hot pan.
And Lenora, we agree, Lenore. Oh, hey.
Okay, now it's a lot quieter, so this should be a lot better.
Guys, can you hear Deanie better?
But you want it to have a hot sear because you want that color, and we've gotten that color. Lenore, are you good?
Lenore said that her kitchen smells insane from the chicken.
Amazing. It's our first crab patty. So excited. All right, so get your vinegar in there, okay? And then we have our soy sauce. All right. Here we go. Now, whenever I use soy sauce, I usually do low sodium soy sauce just so you can control the amount of salt. But anytime I write like a half a teaspoon of salt, which isn't often, normally it will be like salt to season, it's because I want you to determine how salty or not you want the end result. Some people like things a little bit saltier, some like more mild tasting. Salt a little bit and then taste test it, and you can always add more, okay? So that is our soy sauce in there. We have our garlic cloves.
Guys, look at this.
So good. So mine are actually super fresh because I peeled fresh garlics. I wanted to get pre-peeled, but the store didn't have them. So I got fresh, and I'm not upset because it's like just fresher and yummier and more potent. Okay, so now that your liquid is in there, now you can bring this back up to a boil because now you're not nervous that you're gonna smoke out the house. Okay?
And yes, only half the chicken is supposed to be in the pot right now.
Yeah, I just left it in there because no need to remove it. I just wanted to have like a little bit of space to like mix around the sauce in here. But we're gonna be adding all the chicken right back in here anyways. But as long as I have some room to just mix this around, you're good. All right, what else? We need our vegetable stock, or in my case, I'm using this ramen broth because I just love this product. It's not even sponsored or anything, I just happen to love it. I just think it's such a cool, smart thing to sell because ramen is just so trendy right now. And also we're making ramen bowls on Wednesday. So I already have this. I could save this little bit, plus about a second one if I want to add more to it. But I'm already buying it. But you can also use just vegetable broth or chicken broth. It doesn't matter. Use what you like, or use water with chicken consomme, whatever.
I can't wait to try it. I'm telling you.
Such good chicken.
So we have a question.
Yes.
Chicken didn't all fit in one pan, so brown them in 2 pots.
Yeah,
can you pile them in one tall pot afterwards, or do they need to kind of be all flat?
No, not at all. You could totally pile them all together, and the sauce will come up like most of the way. You'll see how I do it. I'm going to add them all in together. It's totally fine. Instead of oregano, I'm using rosemary because I was out, but it's another great alternative. So if you don't have oregano, don't freak out and don't go to the store to get it. Just make do with what you have.
Guys, Deanie is awesome about just using what you got. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be done, and it'll be delicious no matter what.
There are always things that you could substitute, things that you could put in as an alternative. There are always ways around it. I don't believe in like rigid recipes that make me run to 15 grocery stores. You make do with what you got.
And I'm gluten-free, so I use tamari sauce.
Yes.
And I'm curious to see if the ramen broth is gluten-free. I'll check it after.
Ooh, interesting.
And the garlic is not cut at all.
Nope.
It was smashed.
Thrown in. I just smashed it. You don't really have to. It's going to cook in here, so you'll get that flavor regardless. But you can smash it if you like. So I just nestled all the chicken right in here. As long as you have like a nice big pot like this, it should fit. You have 2 full chickens cut into 8. That's really what it is. So I'm just raising this up to a boil, and then I'm just going to cover it, lower it to a simmer. We're going to let it cook for like 40 minutes, and it's going to be the most, it's so good. It's literally like
it smells
40
so
clove
good.
garlic chicken, and chicken adobo had a baby, and you're like,
and guys, the garlic is amazing to just like spread on bread or spread on chicken. Oh yeah,
so
just
good.
like, guys.
And like a garlic phenomenon.
Okay, the broccoli rabe has already been done. It is in the oven.
Broccoli rabe's in the oven together with the mushrooms. Those are going to cook for 10 to 15 minutes. Then we're going to take them out. Those will be done. Those are quick cookers. And then we have the spaghetti squash, which will be in there for like 40 to 50 minutes. It really depends on how big your spaghetti squash is. So test it after like 40 minutes or so. Press your finger, being careful if it's a little bit hot, but press your finger like through the tin foil and feel if it has like any give. If it's like slightly soft, you know you're good. You could also always like uncover it and like test it, see if it pulls like spaghetti.
That's so smart because that's what I do. But I like the pushing.
You feel that it's kind of soft. You don't want it to get too soft. So right when you feel it's soft enough, pull it out. Otherwise it won't strand. It'll just kind of be mushy. You want that like spaghetti-like texture because that's what's so good about it. So yeah, make sure you don't overcook that.
And then we have 2 more questions. Can I substitute chicken for lamb? Will it be the same taste, like flavor?
So it'll be more lamb flavor. Like I think lamb has a very strong flavor profile. I don't particularly love lamb. If you love that lamb flavor, 100%. Why not?
Cool.
Sear it off, cook it like this, and you're kind of like just braising it. That'll be so good.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I leave the leaves on broccoli?
Yes.
The broccoli rabe.
Depends. The broccoli rabe, yes.
Yes.
Broccolini, broccoli rabe, you could leave all those leaves on. Regular broccoli, I tend to just pull them off, but you don't have to.
Same. I've always taken them off, but I guess
you don't
weird.
have to.
And the balsamic was a whole cup?
That was, yes, exactly. And guys, if you're new here, head to prepandolly.com. All the recipes are on there. You could subscribe for $11 a month, or $60 for the year, or $6 for 6 months, $100 for the year, and you get access to these weekly meal preps every single week. We have a brand new prep, and I show you what we're making on Sunday, which is this, and then how it turns into dinners Monday through Thursday, which is this. And you save tons of money. Like this week, I spent $70-something, I think, and I had to buy meat and chicken, which I already had in my freezer. So it was pretty awesome. So for like around $100, a little bit under, we're eating dinner Monday through Thursday and lunches for the week.
And you're eating like a king. I don't know about you guys,
well,
but
dinner. It's not pizza.
Right, or like, and you're using fresh herbs. Like it's the food that you normally don't have time to make during the week.
Exactly. Or like ingredients, like Chipotle's. Like I know a lot of you, like it's kind of annoying having to source some of these things. But first of all, they're always substitutes. Google is your best friend here. So if you weren't able to find Chipotle's, I posted something that I found when I Google searched. What's a good substitute for Chipotle's? It's tomato paste, a little bit of Chipotle pepper, like dry, like the dry spice, together with tomato paste. That's basically what it is. So you can always Google, like, great substitute for milk, good substitute for flour. Like, you could really Google anything. You could always find a substitution. If you don't like kidney beans, use cannellini beans, or take the beans out completely. So we're not only giving you great recipes and saving your week, but giving you the tools to like make good decisions and know how to improvise and know how to say, you know what, I don't need to go to the grocery store another time. I have this already. Or like maybe I could use this instead. Like knowing what you could swap in so that you could be a hero in your kitchen and actually enjoy it and not live so rigidly.
Guys, a hero in your kitchen. And Deanie's probably a hero in her kitchen every day, but people like me
who like prepping around, I'm telling you, when it comes to like, sorry, I'm getting a chocolate. When it comes, if I don't prep one week and dinner time rolls around, I'm like lost. I'm like, pizza? Like, I don't know what to do. It's weird because I'm always thinking about recipes, but for some reason, when I don't have any food in the fridge, I'm like, hold on, what should I make? I know what to do. But then like I go into the fridge and I'm like, okay, I guess I have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, turn it into something. But here you get to just have dinners all week long. You don't have to think about it. It's like I could work till 4 o'clock knowing that dinner is ready to go. I could pick up my kids from school, come home and eat with them because it's so stress-free.
And for subs, yes, you can use Google. It's your best friend. But there's also the Prep and Rally Facebook page.
Yes, this is so helpful. Like, you guys are so amazing on there and so responsive. And it's just the greatest camaraderie on there. Everyone chimes in and helps. And somebody from Israel was saying she was in a grocery store this week holding her list, shopping for things. And she saw another person said, "Oh, is that Prep and Rally?" Yeah. It was amazing. It's like people are connecting over Prep and Rally. It's so cool. I love you guys. It's amazing.
We're happy.
So I just covered this with a lid, lower it down to a simmer, and this will cook like 40 minutes. It'll be nice and tender. Oh my God, do you smell that, guys?
It smells amazing.
Whiff.
I wish you could smell through the phone.
It smells so good. Okay.
So do you have to cover the pan?
Yes, it's good to. You don't have to. It's still cooking in the liquid, but it will help it cook quicker and get moisture, and it'll just happen faster if you cover it, because less evaporation. And I was just reading a new cookbook this weekend, and she basically said if you have a big wide pot, that means dinner's on the table faster, because bigger pot means more surface area, meaning more evaporation more quickly, meaning more dinner on your table faster. Did you guys catch that?
I did. So, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you have like a small, like tall pot, it takes longer to evaporate because it's so dense. If you have a wider pan or pot or a wok, like a wok is a big wide pan, it cooks super fast because there's so much surface area, the fire's touching a million different places, evaporation happens faster so you can cook faster. So having a nice big pot like this is great, but then it's all about, you know, if you want to cover it, because that helps cooking faster, because it helps it if you're trying to get that moistness rather than like
cooking on a wok
like
with
sauce. Yeah, like here we're braising, so we basically seared it, and now we're cooking liquid, so we want it to kind of be like nice and moist in there. I hate that word, but you do.
Everyone does, right? Yeah. Also, in case you forgot cooking was a science, here's your reminder.
Yeah, it really is. I was like never a science person or a school person, but like it's so scientific. Okay, so you guys, chicken adobo's done. We are on to our chile. All right. If you have the recipes, you have them. If you don't, you don't. But you gotta subscribe.
And you can.
And you can at prepandrally.com.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're going to get started with our chili. I have a pot right here, standing by. Alright, we are going to get our onions and our peppers in there. Then we're going to brown the meat. Step one is getting your little pot, which is like a medium to large size, heated with some oil as per usual. Okay, and we're going to get our onion going. So as usual, we cut off the top and we cut off the bottom.
Knife skills by Jeannie, guys. Pay attention to this.
Always. And we just take this and slit it through. And then you take off that first layer, which is peeled off like so. And what I always do before each prep rally, just so you guys know, I have two of them. One came with this set of knives. One is from Wisdom. I run my knife through these. These are the greatest tools ever. They don't cost a lot of money. You run it through the coarse side. You run it through the fine side. You literally just take your knife like this. You don't need a fancy stone. You don't need to go ask somebody to pay somebody to sharpen your knives for you. Yes, you can if your knife is like totally beaten up. But if you just need like a little fine tuning, run it through there, and it just makes your knife perfect again. All right, keep it sharp.
And it matters that the pot is meat, guys.
Yes, exactly. We're making chili in here. All right, this chili you guys are gonna love. It's like the greatest chili ever. You're gonna love it so much. All right, so you want to slice your onion. I do it twice that way, and then I don't know, like 5 or 6 times that way, and then this way. Oh, the difference between having a sharp knife and a dull knife is just like so significant. My goodness.
Meat pot.
Yep. All right, so put that over there. Again, go through this way. 1, 2, make sure your fingertips are going up. Go this direction. And how many slits you make that determines how big or small your pieces are. So if I would make more slits in here, you're gonna get a very fine dice. If I only made like 2 slits in there, you're gonna get big pieces, okay? And then
look at that.
Okay. But if you do have a chef knife, I recommend keeping it sharp and using it. And if you don't have a chef's knife, get one. Get one good chef's knife. Don't get a whole set. Don't get like the million different steak knives that nobody uses. Just get one chef knife. That's all you need. And I made the mistake, you know, multiple times, getting a whole set. All right.
They trick you into thinking you need all of them, and then you use one.
No, you never use them. All right, with your oil. You guys know I always like to add my salt as we're cooking the onions.
That was a trick that I learned from Deanie,
Yes.
which is that salt brings out the flavor in onions.
Yep, it helps pull out that moisture, which helps caramelize them so fast. So it really is like, it really helps get that brown going. All right, so mushrooms and broccoli raw, yum, looking so good. I'm gonna let it go for like, oops, not 55 minutes, hold on. All right, I'm giving my broccoli and my mushrooms 5 more minutes.
How
My
do you,
mushroom pieces are bigger.
yeah, how do you know when they're done?
I mean, the broccoli raw, you don't need too long, especially you're gonna be reheating this stuff as well. So you don't wanna overcook it. I could pull it out now, I'm just giving it 5 minutes. I don't know why, but you're gonna be reheating it. So whenever you're reheating something, I always recommend undercooking as much as possible. Once you see it's bright green, you want it to have a little bit of bite to it. So it's really ready now. I just want the mushrooms to like shrivel up a little more.
Gotcha.
So I'm giving it 5 more minutes. But you can totally take it out now if it's a little bit underdone because you will be heating that up during the week, and you don't want it to be like completely brown broccoli raw broccolini by the time you get to it. All right, so pepper we're gonna add in with our onion. Okay, guys, how are we doing? Are we all happy? Can we all hear me? Are we all good? Are we all
Let us
excited
know.
about this menu?
Well, some people are excited that you, I love that you drink wine while you prep.
Oh my God, always, you guys. And if I weren't live with you guys, I'd have music blasting. You know my Insta stories, whenever I'm like testing out recipes, if I don't have music, it's not fun. And I share a Spotify account with my sister. Lonnie, if you're watching, I love you. But it's funny because it's good she's in Israel because the 10-hour time difference sometimes works out because when I'm up, she's not, or whatever. But when we both want music at the same time and I'm cooking, I'm like, no. It's like the worst thing ever. I need
You can't share it. I don't pay for Spotify. I use the one with ads, which is crazy.
No, you can only have one person listening at a time and you pick each other off. So a lot of times we'll, we'll go back and forth picking each other off.
Deanie also has a Spotify playlist
Yes.
that she shares with her email subscribers.
Yeah, you guys need to check it out. Such good music on there, and honestly, music is what gets me through everything. Like I'm always listening to good music, and that keeps me going, keeps me happy. I work out to good music. I listen to good music in the car. I cook to it, and it just like keeps me really happy and motivated and excited. And find those things that make you happy in the kitchen, like a good knife or a cute cutting board. This is Prep and Rally. Guys, I just got an idea to make really cute swag, like t-shirts and sweatshirts that say Prep and Rally, and then hashtag squad in the back.
Who wants one?
If you guys want one, I'm definitely making a couple for myself and a couple for Danielle, and maybe some for Andy and Joe as well, because they're going to be so cute. Let us know if you guys want some. I'm thinking of ordering some and selling them on the site. I'm just so excited. Like cozy, like sweatshirts and some t-shirts as well, because I don't know, like aprons are cute, but I'm like more of a cozy girl. I would rather wear like a long sleeve t-shirt or a cozy sweater that says Prep and Rally on it. So let me know what you think. Okay? Onions, peppers in here.
Okay, we have a couple questions.
Yes.
So the meat is just regular ground beef, correct?
Yep, regular ground beef. You could use ground turkey, ground chicken,
Great.
whichever you prefer. All right, keep mixing it around. All right, I'm gonna give that 1 more minute. And then we're gonna add in our beef. We're gonna just break it up with a spatula. So make sure you have one standing by. Is there anything like more? This is like my mom. I have so think of my mom, right?
I have old ones from my mom, and they're burnt. They're exactly the same. It's
So
amazing.
old school. Like I think of my mom every time I use it. And it's mine. I burnt it. Like it's totally mine, but like this equals my mom.
I find the same thing. Anyone else have that association with the wooden? Because the new ones are all like the rubbery plastic ones.
So funny. What was it? Amy made the funniest comment today about a spatula. What was it? Oh my God, I can't remember. Oh my God. We were getting our nails done. And she's never seen someone get a pedicure before. She was watching this woman get a pedicure. And she was like shaving the back of her heel. And Amy was like, Mommy, why is she rubbing a spatula on her heel?
Oh my goodness.
So cute. Like that's my daughter with like her spatula. Obviously, like making pancakes every morning. Like she thought it was a spatula. And I'm like, think of it more like a grater.
Oh my God. That's
so funny. I was cracking up so hard. She's so cute.
Deanie's kids are the cutest.
They're so yummy. They drive me nuts at times, but they're so yummy cute. I love them. All right, so we have 2 pounds of ground beef right here. All right, so you want to break that up. All right, and you want to get that nice brown sear there. Okay. That's how you get flavor, is by that caramelization. That is what it's all about. It's about caramelizing meat because you bring out the sugars, and that is where the flavor is at. So even like when you're doing sous vide, you want to finish with a sear because you get way more flavor when you caramelize it. And it's called, I think it's called the Maillard effect.
Science.
Yeah. But I remember my client used to send me like articles about like that Maillard effect, how like he wants things totally like seared, so if I would make like meat, make sure to sear it because I remember like reading this whole, I think it was Tim Ferriss book or something I read. I don't even know.
Interesting.
But you want that golden crust. That's what you're looking for.
So
not only for texture, but also for flavor. It's such good flavor.
So we added salt and pepper, or just salt?
To what? Just salt.
To the just salt
Yep.
so far. So currently there is onions and peppers and ground beef. For all those that are having trouble hearing Deanie, we did have trouble with the mic today. But if you just turn up the volume on your phone.
Yeah, and we'll try to be away from the heat as much as possible because it is louder by the stove. So as much as we can be here, the better. And if you guys have any questions, shout it out. Neil will shout it out to me. Sorry, guys.
What
the mic wasn't working.
What kind of pan is this?
It's actually Gotham steel. They sent it to me a while ago. They do all this like non-stick coating. I don't even know what it is, some technology, but I had it for like a couple years. It's good. Yeah.
Someone wants to know if they can omit the peppers.
Totally. Completely omit it. No need for it. 100%. All right, so keep moving this around. You want to work at high heat now because you want to get a nice golden crust. So keep moving those around and break up all those little clumps of meat so you don't have like big pieces of it. You want to break it up similar to like if you're making like a taco meat. That's really what you're doing here. Break that up. And meanwhile, while that's cooking, we are going to get our spices in, okay? So chili, you obviously need chili powder. So use chili powder. There are many different types of chili powder. Chipotle chili powder, ancho chili powder. So taste a little bit if you're unsure if it's spicy or not, and adjust if necessary. Like if it has heat and you want your kids to eat it, don't add too much, okay? So make sure, like, you can go like this. Taste it. See how spicy it is? Mine is very mild, so I'm able to add a lot. I'm going to get more of the heat from this. I'm not going to add too much because I want my kids to eat some. So I'm not going to add too much. But let's add our other spices, which are garlic powder. Always. Finished. Love it. Okay. Move it around. And here you're also going to get those spices heated, which helps wake up all the spices. A lot of recipes you'll see to like toast the spices beforehand, and the reason for that is like heat brings out the oil and things, whether it's herbs or spices, and it perfumes them, so it brings out a more intense flavor. So whenever those things hit the heat, you get flavor.
The more you know, guys, the better the better you cook. Question. So heat at every meal. Yes. Guys, what do you think of our new theme song? So after you cook the chicken breast, how long do you keep it?
The chicken in here?
Yeah, does that mean in here? What's your question exactly? Could you specify?
Well, this is cooking beautifully. Look at that. Oh my god. Yum.
Guys.
That's called braising. And again, you want to make sure that you see some sort of bubble happening. Whenever you lower anything to a simmer, you want to make sure that your liquid is not just standing still. Cooking means action. It means something is happening. You want to make sure there's a bubble, there's a sear, there's something going on, otherwise it's not doing anything. So make sure it's high enough that it's working, but still low enough that it's a simmer, that you're not boiling it like crazy. So make sure there's some action going on there. All right, keep moving this around. I added garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and paprika, smoked paprika. If you don't like the smoky flavor, omit it. I need so many new spices. Can you guys tell I love my spices?
Guys, can you smell this through the phone?
Oh,
because if you could.
So good.
Okay, so you want to make this meat as small as possible. Have as few chunks as possible.
Break it up like this with your good old-fashioned.
Does anyone else get reminded by their mother or grandmother by these wooden utensils? Let us know.
Old school, like it's burnt to a crisp. It's so gross, but like, and there's turmeric stains on it, like.
More flavor, right? It probably.
Yeah, exactly. It gives it that that applewood smoke.
Yes. They say that about like grills and things like that, right? That they like keep flavor.
Perfumes of food. That was made of apple, but that'd be pretty awesome actually. What's a great business idea to make an apple?
Like basically like guys.
Patent. Okay, season it with some salt because we didn't do that yet. All right, season liberally. And keep moving that around. So you see the meat is nice and browned now. At this point, I'm going to add Chipotles in Adobo. Okay, so if you guys are not able to find this, omit it. It's totally fine. If you want to do something similar to this, mix tomato paste with Chipotle, like dry Chipotle ground like powder that comes in the spice section. Oh my god, it smells so good and smoky. So I use this in the shakshuka at the end of the week and in chili. You can completely omit it. You don't need to use it. It's a little spicy, especially if you're using the actual peppers. I'm going to use a little bit of the sauce because I love the flavor profile. It's sauce and then there's actual peppers in there. This can is amazing. If you want to order these in bulk on Amazon, it's worth it. The flavor's so good here. Even if you're making like wings for like a football party, like a tailgate, I don't know what football people do.
Tailgating, right?
Whatever, tailgating.
Oops, overboard.
But good flavor here. And then we're going to add our, you can either do your marinara sauce or canned tomato. Either one works. I just find if you could use a good marinara sauce, added flavor, less time, bonus. Whenever you could cheat a little bit to get extra flavor in there, why not? No one's gonna be like, oh my god, you used store-bought marinara sauce.
I've never used it in something like this, but I use it all the time for bolognese sauce.
Yes, exactly, easy.
But same thing, guys.
There's so many flavors in there. There's garlic flavor in there. There's spices in there. Why mess around if you could use something so flavorful? Which is how I feel about the Chipotles. They pack so much intense flavor. So if I could use them, why not?
So we got clarification about the chicken question. It's not in regards to today's chicken. It's just a question in general about how long chicken lasts. Yeah.
So technically, you
already
have 7
cooked
days until it's like actually could give you foodborne illness. But I always say after like 5 days, chuck it. You don't want to eat it after or look at it after 5 days. But with these plans specifically, prepandonline.com, if you're new here, just tuning in, you can find all these menu plans, everything on here, meal prep for the week on Sundays together. But if everything is like completely calculated here, so if we're doing fish, that's always served Monday in these meal preps. I don't know if you guys know this. Chicken or meat is always Tuesday and or Wednesday. Thursday is always like a shakshuka where you already have the chipotles, you already have the spaghetti squash made. All you have to do is throw it in a pan with some marinara sauce and fresh eggs and you have a completely fresh dinner. So Thursday night's always vegetarian, vegan, or some sort of tostada or a frittata, something that you're making fresh that night, utilizing a roasted vegetable from the week or like a sauce you made during the week. So,
guys, these are all the things that Deanie really puts the time and effort into thinking about calculating. Because the truth is, if you make things at home, it's hard to use them all by the time they go bad.
Yes, like herbs. How many of us throw like a whole thing of mint or you buy lettuce?
The spring mix that meme.
Mix is always getting old. Always. It sits in that annoying plastic. Like it's the worst. So here everything is calculated. So you save tons of time, tons of money, and the subscription pays for itself. I am not a person that subscribes to subscription services because I get nervous about it. It's recurring. It makes me nervous. You save money here. I know you're spending money. You're saving money. I promise you because I spent $80 and we're going to eat the entire week for $80. You go to a restaurant, you spend $80 for like a date night for one couple and you get like appetizers and 2 glasses of wine. So,
and you have your time back.
You have your time, your sanity, and I'll look at cookbooks and be like, okay, this recipe takes 40 minutes from start to finish. And I'm thinking like, we bang out an entire week's worth of food in an hour to hour and a half. So you're good, guys. I just added in some cocoa powder. Some of you are thinking
guys.
like crazy, you're not making chocolate cake. Chocolate is notorious in Mexican cuisine. You tell me where else, if you're from somewhere where you use it, but it brings out amazing flavor. It has no sweetness to it. Just straight up cocoa powder. It adds intense richness, great flavor, and it's made. You make like mole sauce out of it.
Yes. So,
Mexican.
have you ever made mole?
No, but I would love to. I've heard it takes a long time
That's
to
what.
make. I'm wanting to make a cheap version, like a Prep and Rally style version.
Please and thank you.
Right? That's like
Oh, in Guatemala, they use.
I was going to ask Mr. Guatemala or Mrs. Guatemala.
Mrs. Guatemala.
That is it's going to be used in Guatemala, 100%. Amazing. I would love your recipes, so send them over.
What do you here in Guatemala? What do you put the cocoa powder in? Is it chicken? Is it beef?
Yeah, I would love to know because anything with that like chocolate richness, so good. Whether it's savory or sweet, amazing.
Yum. And you can tell your kids that there's chocolate in it.
Exactly. You know, they can want to eat it. I just added the kidney beans, and that's the entire chili. You guys are gonna love this. I don't know if you could smell, but like this is like a spa day at the chili factory. So good in here. Okay, yum. So while that's cooking, we're gonna cook it a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna shut it off. Okay. Next up, we have the spaghetti squash already done. The mushrooms are already done. Broccoli rabe is done. You guys, that means we have one more thing to do, and that's the polenta, which we're doing two ways. We're doing polenta croutons, and we're doing a creamy polenta as well. We're cooking it all in one shot. Okay, so bear with me. Make sure you have, let me bring everything over here. So I have a pot filled, I think I should move all this stuff over.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Hold on, let's reorganize here. Let's move you over here. You over here. Is that good there?
Yeah.
I guess I could move this as well. Hold on. Okay. I'm turning my chili low. We're going to cook it a few more minutes and then it's going to be done. We have our chicken here, which is continuing to cook. In the oven, we have the spaghetti squash, which will take another like, I don't know, 25 to 30 minutes. Okay. Let that keep going. Hold on. Shut all these off. Okay. I'm moving this over here so you guys can see what I'm doing.
Woo! You okay?
Got it.
We almost had a pot go overboard.
Okay, here we go. Oh my god, that's so heavy because I have 6 cups of water in here.
Be careful in the kitchen.
Yes. Alright, turn this back on. Beautiful. And then on low. Let the chicken keep cooking. Here is my pot for the polenta. So you want like a medium to large pot, 6 cups of your water, all right, and bring that up to a boil. All right, so we're making polenta here. Get rid of everything else that you're not using because you don't want to stress yourself out in the kitchen. I always say clean as you go because it just keeps you sane, plus it eliminates the cleanup at the end. So like if you have a little spice cabinet right here, why not throw these in? Right? Takes a second and it's less to put away later.
While we're cleaning, can we answer some questions?
Yes, please.
Great. Okay, so someone's behind. For the chicken adobo, using chicken breasts and baking it. How long should it bake for and on what temperature?
Do the 425 because you already have your oven on anyways. That's totally fine. If you have an internal like meat thermometer, you could use it testing that like with a meat thermometer, or you could just cut one open to be sure that it's cooked through. You're going to be reheating it again as well. I would say 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, you should be good to go. And then take it out. And just if you want to cut through one and make sure that's cooked in the center, but it should be. After 20 to 30 minutes in the oven at 425, you should be good.
Great.
Okay.
And when did the beans go in? Someone missed it.
Way at the end. I put them in at the end. It was the last thing I put in after the cocoa powder. Doesn't totally matter the order. The main thing that matters for the order is getting the onions and peppers in first to saute them, then getting the meat in because you want to brown that before you do anything else, and then everything else goes in like the sauce and all the wet ingredients, and then beans go in at the end because you don't want them to get like mushy and gross. And I'm going to shut it off because it's done. The meat was already cooked through.
Done.
So you just want to cook that sauce together. Oh my god, it smells so good. The chipotle is my favorite thing. And then that cocoa powder just adds richness that I love.
Great. So speaking of cocoa powder,
Yeah.
our friend from Venezuela has let us know that, okay, they have, for Christmas, they have black tamales, which have a sauce with different peppers and chocolate, and you can make them with turkey, pork, or duck.
Send me recipes.
She would like to send you recipes.
I would love that. Please.
We would love that.
Info@preppertonight.com. Send us your recipes. If you ever, guys, if you have any inspiration for any kind of recipes, things that you want to see, things that you are trying, that you want to try for your family, but you've never had a recipe for it, or things that you love in your family that you think would do really well for other families, send them over. I'm always looking for inspiration. I look for inspiration on Pinterest. I look on Instagram. I look in cookbooks, wherever.
Guatemala, sorry. Sorry, I actually just met someone from Venezuela today, and that's why I got confused. Guatemala. No, that was my bad. Sorry. Okay, and cannelloni beans are fine, right?
Yes, 100%.
And then we had someone earlier say that they couldn't find raw polenta, so they bought the logs. Okay,
so there's a lot of question about the polenta. So if you're using the logs of it, that's already cooked, ready to go. So you can make the croutons out of that, because you could just cut that into cubes, and then the night that you're serving the chili, just toss them in some olive oil, salt, and pepper, and either roast them or pan fry them in a non-stick skillet, and you'll get those little crusty croutons that we're looking for. To get that creamy polenta, if you wanted to use the logs, you probably could still do it. Just break it up with like a spatula, like a wooden spatula like that. Or even like, I guess just break it up in a pan with the almond milk that I suggest doing the night of. You could probably still get it to like turn creamy again. It's like very forgiving. And I'll show you guys the package that I get. So this is the one that I love, organic polenta corn grits. You could use grits, you could use regular polenta. It's kind of confusing what all the different things are, but honestly what this is corn. Grits traditionally is hominy, which is it's in a family of the corn family. But this is just regular straight up corn that's ground up like this, dried and ground up. Cornmeal is very similar, but it's usually a little finer. This is more coarse, so you have more of that textural element. Cornmeal would work. So we just may not, you may not need to cook it for as long because it's finer. So you may need to adjust your cookie time a little bit, but it should work. So this is really just corn ground up.
So yes, cornmeal, totally good to substitute. And then we are actually nearing the end of our video.
Perfect, okay.
So we're going to hop off and hop right back on.
Amazing. We have one more thing to do.
Just very quickly.
Yeah.
So
the last thing on the next video, and then we'll hang out. Maybe we'll hang out for a little bit.
Guys, you want a Q&A? Let us know.
If you guys have any questions, let us know. Reach out. Join us right back here. We're going to do one more video. We're going to finish the polenta. We're going to make it 2 ways. Come right back.
Bye.